to talk specifically about how to write the career summary. In the last lecture, I gave you some tips containing some questions to think about when you go ahead and write yours. So I'm going to show you how I've answered some of those questions in ways that are effective in highlighting the individual. You want to answer those important questions, and you want to select which questions are going to highlight you the best. So I'm going to go through and give you 2 examples of career summaries of people just entering the workforce, experienced professionals, and one entering a new field. So you might want to find the section of this lecture that relates to your current position. Are you entering the workforce? Are you experienced? Are you switching fields? Find the examples that relate to you. Before we get started, I just want to note that these examples that you're going to be seeing are not formatted the way they were formatted. Some were in paragraph form, some were in bulleted form, and they're not necessarily, the sentences and the answers aren't necessarily in the order that they appeared in. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. So the first example is a student who is new to the workforce. Now I began with, what is your current position and main focus? If you don't have a current position that relates to your workforce, well then relates to your work field, then you leave that one off. But if you're in an internship position or volunteering that relates to your field, you want to answer what is your current position. If your field has a variety of facets, you want to let your prospective employer know right away what area you're interested in or what position you're interested in. So here's how I answered that for this resume. Currently an electrical design intern with a passion for digital logic-based circuits. He was going into electrical engineering. He was working as an electrical design, but what he really wanted to get into was digital logic-based circuits. So that helps prospective employers know what area of electrical engineering he wants to go into. Now the next question is, how can you show your enthusiasm and love for what you do? This is probably my favorite question for someone new to the workforce. If you have never entered that field before, you got to prove that you have a love for it, because you might not have the experience in it, but if you have the passion and the drive for it, employers are going to want you. So here's how I answered that question on this resume. Developed home projects, example, Jarvis-like system using Arduino and Raspberry Pi platforms, and began development on a haptic feedback suit for virtual reality experiences. These 2 things are something that this guy did at home. And so it shows that he's passionate about electrical engineering, because on his own time, not related to work, he's building things that are based on digital logic-based circuits. I don't know anything about electrical engineering, as you can tell, but I did interview this client to find some information to put in his career summary, and I asked him, okay, like what do you enjoy doing? What electrical engineering projects do you enjoy? And by putting in these projects that he takes the time to work on and do at home, it's going to show his passion, and prospective employees like that. Who are you as a person and as an employee? Now, even if you don't have any experience in your field, just knowing why you'd make a good employee is great to put into your career summary. So for his answer, we have innovative, creative, and highly motivated to create efficient solutions that raise the standard of living and solve problems. This is what he loves to do. He loves to solve problems, and that's important as electrical engineering. And that's who he's going to be as an employee. He's going to help them solve these solutions. So this is a great career summary. This one's actually, the sentences you see over here are actually in the order that they appeared in, but that's not always going to be the case. Second example of someone new to the workforce. What job qualifications do you have? If you are new to the field, but you have something that qualifies you, you can go ahead and put that in. So this is for someone who was becoming a school counselor, and she had some experience, some interns and working with school counselors. So she wasn't completely entirely new. I think she'd actually done it for a semester, but she was mostly new. So what job qualifications do you have? Well, she trained in AVID and worked closely with students to help first-generation college-bound students become college ready. That's awesome as a counselor, if you're trained in those AVID strategies. Not every counselor is, so she's letting them know, hey, I've got this extra training. And then she's worked with students of all ages from elementary to college as a dance teacher, school counselor, and school choreographer. So while she doesn't have a lot of experience working as a school counselor, like I said, it was probably just, I believe, just a semester, she has still worked with students, and so she has that experience. How can you show your enthusiasm and love for what you want to do? As I said, I think this question is key when you're new to entering the workforce. Show your passion. I don't have the experience, but I have the passion. She sought out professional development opportunities, listed some conferences she attended. She stayed committed to continual learning and discovering new methods. This shows that she's passionate, like she's committed to learning more and getting better and attending these professional development conferences even when she hasn't been hired as a school counselor yet. Shows that she's really passionate about it. Who are you as a person and as an employee? All right, I don't have much work experience, but I want you to know what kind of employee I will be. In her short experience of being a school counselor, and mostly in her experience for being a school choreographer, she gained confidence. She became more enthusiastic, more vocal. This shows, you know what, I'm an employee who grows. I improve. And this is also now who I am. I'm more vocal and I'm more enthusiastic, which is important for someone working with kids. And I'm the kind of employee that can build great rapport with students and encourage them to confide in me. I'll be that kind of employee. I might not have the experience, but I promise you I can do that because that's who I am as a person. Okay, so this one doesn't show the sentences in the order that they appeared, but I just kind of went in the order of the questions that I had asked her. Example number 3 is for an experienced professional. So what are your job qualifications? If you're an experienced professional, how long have you been doing this and why are you qualified? Show me that. So over 15 years of marketing experience leading, directing, negotiating, and overseeing agencies and internal creative departments. I was a marketing executive with progressive experience in branding, digital marketing, etc. So she's listing here all of her different qualifications to work as a marketer. Now, this one was key to helping her write her career summary. What is your value to the company? And what are the main things you've accomplished throughout your career? Now, yes, you're going to highlight things that you've accomplished in your job accomplishments, right? In the work history section of your resume. But since this is the very, very, very top of your resume, and it's what it's seen first, you can go ahead and definitely highlight your main accomplishments. Now, the reason why this one was key to her summary is because the job that she was applying for really wanted a brander, someone who was really good at branding. And just because you're a marketer does not necessarily mean you have branding expertise, or you might have a little bit, but that might not be your focus or your best area. So we changed her career summary to really highlight her accomplishments as a brander. And we've got these ones. She started her own marketing firm, working as a consultant for various companies to help build their unique brand through analyzing their consumers and competitors. And the next one, she took new startups from the ground up, building their brand visuals and voice, ensuring consistency across all mediums. She literally built new startup brands. That's going to be great for somebody looking for a brander. So we added these into her career summary to really target how she's going to bring value to the company. Now, there's a lot of main things she accomplished throughout her 15 years of her career, but we selected those ones specifically because of the job she was applying for. Who are you as a person and as an employee? She's highly organized, self-starter with a passion for digital trends, innovation, and working in a fast-paced, team-oriented environment. That's who she is. That's the type of employee she will be. This one is mine after years of teaching. What were my job qualifications? Well, I'm an accomplished, experienced teacher. I was named the best English teacher a former principal has ever seen, and I trained in AVID strategies. Now, what are the main things you have accomplished throughout your career? Again, this one's great if you're an experienced professional. Again, you are going to mention your specific accomplishments in your work history, but if you've been doing this for a long time, there's probably some main things that you're proud of that you've achieved that encompass all your jobs. They don't necessarily belong in one specific job. It's something you did throughout your whole career. For me, I said, you know what, I led writing instruction. I challenged other teachers to raise the standards while breaking down writing instruction to help students write polished, astute, college-ready essays. That's the main thing I accomplished. What I stand for as a teacher is I help other teachers, and I raise the standards, I challenge my students, and I really help them learn to write better. That's my main accomplishments as a teacher. Who are you as an employee? Now for this one, I didn't just go generic, who I am as an employee in general, but who I am as a teacher. What kind of teacher am I? I'm the kind of teacher that affected student performance by pushing students to think more critically and analytically rather than just surface level. I motivated honors students to apply themselves and improve their skill set rather than accepting good enough work. I'm the kind of employee that pushes my students. I'm the kind of teacher that says, no, yeah, that's good work, but come on now. You know how to do better than that. And that's important for a prospective employee to see that that's the kind of teacher I am. And lastly, how can you show your enthusiasm and love for what you do? I keep up to date with continual professional development classes, books, and workshops. Like, I read professional development books for fun, you know? This is who I am. I love it. I wanna become better at it. This one is switching to a new field. This is the last example here. So when you're switching to a new field, you need to show that you're qualified in this new field in some way. So this one was simple. He earned his BSN and he scored in the top 3% on the final exam. Now he was a computer IT tech guy switching to nursing, and he wanted to become eventually a hospice nurse. So it's important to know that he earned his degree. Now, of course, he could have put that in the certifications, but he wanted that right on the top and said, hey, I know I've never been a nurse before, but I've got the certificate. What have you accomplished in your career that is transferable? Okay, he worked for 10 years in another field, so he's got some accomplishments, but you want to focus on the accomplishments that are going to transfer to the new field. So he received the Best Customer Service Award for his friendly, open nature with clients. That's important as a nurse to be friendly and open, and he won an award for that in a field that wasn't nursing, but it was transferable and it related. Who are you as an employee? Think of transferable things. What did I do as a computer technician or IT guy, not technician, sorry, that is important as a nurse? Who am I going to be as a nurse? You know what? I'm going to be detail-oriented because I often caught errors in codes that others missed. Now, as a nurse, you're not going to look at code, but you do need to be detail-oriented. And he enjoys working in a team, both as a leader and as a team member. That should have been enjoyed ED. Sorry for the typo when I typed up this PowerPoint. Okay, this is important as a nurse as well. You're going to be working with other nurses. You're also going to lead your patients. You might lead other nurses, saying, look, I can do well in group settings. And I'm very detail-oriented, which is important as a nurse, but he proved it. You can't just say you're detail-oriented. See, he proved it. He caught errors in codes that others missed. Granted, that proof is not something that a nurse needs to do, but it still proves detail-oriented. And they go, okay, that's transferable. You can be detail-oriented as a nurse. How can you show your love and enthusiasm for this new field? It's similar to when you're entering the workforce for the first time. You don't have a lot of experience, so I think this question is key. I may not be inexperienced for it, but I have the passion for it, and when you have the passion, you're going to be good. He took psychology and communication courses to learn how to better communicate with future patients. He wasn't even a nurse yet, and he went, you know what, I'm going to take the initiative to learn things that's going to help me be a better nurse. And he volunteered at nursing homes from 2005 to 2016. He wasn't even a nurse. He was a computer IT guy, but he was like, hey, I like, working with older people and helping them in their loneliness, which is important for a hospice nurse. So this shows his passion and enthusiasm. So go ahead and check out the supplement material for this lecture. I have career summary examples, which is the same examples that I gave in the last lecture. in the last lecture's supplement material section. But then I also have added a bad career summaries examples, like ones that I have seen that just don't do anything for you. So you might want to check that out and see and compare how where yours compares.